guys, it's Cass. I'm going to be doing the judge a book by its cover tag today. I was very kindly tagged by Nathan from Nathan's Nook, and I'm super excited to do this. I love buying and collecting books and feel very lucky that I'm able to have the collection that I have. So yeah, I'm not going to be going super in depth on any like plots of any of these or any reviews. I'll let you guys know if I've read them or not, but I picked a bunch of books for each category, so it's really just going to be look at the pretty books, listen to me ramble for a little bit about them, but nothing super in depth. The only notes that I have are literally just the questions, so I don't have anything prepared for any of these books. But yeah, let me know what your favorite book covers are down in the comments. I would love to take a look at any of the ones that you guys really love. The first category is best color combination, and my first choice for this is the Copenhagen trilogy by Tove Ditlevsen. I have the set of 3 different books here. The first one being childhood, the second one being youth, the last one being dependency. I just absolutely love this little series. I have read it and loved it just as much as I love the covers. So yeah, I just think that these are great colors, and I really love the different ways that they edited her photo. Next color combo choice is Run River by Joan Didion, and I guess this isn't necessarily a color combo, but I just absolutely love the purple that is on this cover. I think it's a very unique color for a book cover, and I don't see it very often, and yeah, I just love kind of the simplicity of it and the boldness of that purple. And they also use it on the back and the spine as well. Next for color combo is The Friend by Sigrid Nunez. I am living for this like primary color scheme that's going on here. It's got the blue on the spine, and then those same colors from the front are on the back as well, but I just think that this is so unique, and I love how bold it is and how bright it is. I have read this and enjoyed it. I also have read Run River and enjoyed that one as well. I also have 2 that are kind of the same vibe to me. We have Mild Vertigo by mieko kanai, and then Drifts by Kate Zambreno. I absolutely love this bright like greenish yellow. I know that's not everyone's favorite, but I think that it is so eye-catching. Also kind of reminds me of Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, which is another one of my favorite books. I like how it's used with the more neutral colors on these covers. I also have the Bloater by Rosemary Tonks, which I talked about in my book haul, but I think that this is also super eye-catching with the green and the yellow, and then the contrast with the pink is just super cool. And I really like just the design with the finger and the circle too. I think it really draws your eye in. And the last one that I have for color combination could also kind of work for the next question too, which is best typography. But I have Nadja by Andre Breton here. I think that the orange and the yellow is just so stunning, and I really like how it's used to fill in the letters here. Kind of that like handwritten vibe, and then it has the pop of orange on the back too. The next question is best typography. My first choice for this is Trick Mirror by Tolentino. I think that the way that the text is mirrored on the cover is so cool. It goes along with like the playing card vibe. I think this is so stunning. I know there's another kind of color variation of this. I think maybe the hardcover is the same design in a different color, but yeah, I just think that this is super unique. Haven't seen anything like that before. This is also a really great essay collection if you're looking for kind of a good place to start with essays. I really enjoyed this. Next, I have The Woman Destroyed by Simone de Beauvoir. I think this cover in general is just one of my favorites. The color combination, and then I really like the handwritten font on here. I think it kind of goes well with the drawing on the cover. Not a perfect 5-star read for me, but definitely one of my favorites by the Beauvoir that I've read so far. I also have Black Swans by Babitz. I haven't read this yet, but I'm really excited to get to it. I haven't read a ton of her work, but I just love this like bubbly font. Once again, the color combo is gorgeous, but yeah, I think this is just so bold and just really a standout as far as font and typography goes. I also have Couplets by Maggie Milner. I guess this is kind of similar to what Trick Mirror did with like the mirrored words, but I just really like it. Obviously, a couplet is a group of two, and this is a story kind of told in poetry in couplet, so I think it's kind of nice that they reflected that with this cover. The last one that I have for best typography is the selected works of Audre Lorde. I really love the way that the title goes across the top, and then they have the introduction kind of on the side there, just the way that it frames her photo on the front. Yeah, I think the text just really pops up against that photo. The next category is Best Simple Cover, and the first one that I have for this is the Fitzcarraldo editions. I have Happening by Annie Ernaux here, which is one of my favorites from Ernaux and from this collection, but I mean, these are just so iconic. The white background with the blue font for nonfiction, and then the blue background with the white font for fiction. They look so stunning all together on the shelf, and yeah, I just feel like it's so classic and simple. Next for the best simple cover is just Rachel Cusk's works published by Picador in general. This entire collection is just one of my favorites. All of them have the same font for the title and her name, and then they each have a photo here. I feel like everyone talks about these for this question in particular, but I just love them so much. I'm working on completing my collection of them, and this one for the country life specifically just really makes me laugh because of the horse butt. I don't know, this was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. I didn't expect to. I think it's a bit different for Cusk, but it really worked for me personally. Next for simple covers, I have this combined edition of The Hours by Michael Cunningham and Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. Obviously this side is a lot simpler, but I think that the way that they did this was so genius. The Hours is kind of directly inspired by Mrs. Dalloway, so they published these together, and this side has The Hours, and then you flip it and the other side has Mrs. Dalloway. So I don't know, I think that the dried flowers are just so pretty on that plain background with like the gold text. Last for best simple cover, I have The Hole by Hiroko Oyamada. I just think that this grass design is so cool to look at. I think it's so eye-catching and just unique the way that it's all over. It continues on the back as well. I don't know, it just is such a cool like texture. The next question is best end pages. I have one book here for that, but this is kind of a stand-in for all of the New York review books because they all kind of have the same vibe. So all of the covers have like a photograph or a painting on them, and then they have the box that is a certain color with different colored text, and the end pages for these usually correspond with like the accent fonts in here, and I just think that like red and the green is just so, it's kind of giving Christmas, but I think that the contrast is just super cool, and they do that for all of their books in these editions. This one specifically is Paris Stories by Mavis Gallant. I don't know if that's Gallant. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name. Next question is best map. I do not, as far as I know, have any books that have a map in it, so I'm gonna skip that question. Maybe in my old room at my parents' house, some of my like childhood books would have maps in them, but none of the books that I have on my shelf right now do, as far as I know. So Next up is the best naked hardcover. And my first choice for this is The Hour of the Star by Clarice Lispector. This is maybe one of my favorite covers ever. I think that, I think New Directions is like republishing most of her work, and they just do such an amazing job with all of the covers. But it has these gold stars just directly on this photograph of her, and then the blurb on the back with that same photo. It also has different like reviews and some blurbs from authors directly printed on the inside of the cover. These are some good end pages too, to go along with the last question, but yeah, I just think that this is so gorgeous. And then we have I'm a Fan by Sheena Patel. I've talked about this in a couple of my last videos, but great color combination, super bold font here, and it's just printed directly onto the book. There's no dust jacket. Same deal with the back. Yeah, I just think that this is such a pleasing, to the point cover. I really like it. The last naked hardcover that I have is The Road to the City by Natalia Ginzburg. I mentioned this in my book haul. This is a New Directions storybook, so this also does not have a dust jacket. It's kind of like a picture book that you would have had as a little kid, but it is a novella by Natalia Ginzburg. Love the font, love the painting on it. Back cover is also pretty cool too, with the yellow and the green. Next category is the best back cover, and I have two Deborah Levy's here for my answer to this actually. First one, we have Swimming Home, which absolutely loved it, 5 stars. But I like the kind of half and half with the blue and the yellow on the back. Ties in with like the spine and the award on the front. And then the other back cover is for August Blue, also by Deborah Levy. I think this one's just super simple, and it has a quote from the story, which, I don't know, I just like the way that it's spaced on here, like the line that comes down continuing from the front cover. The next question is best chapter headers, and I really struggled with this question. I feel like I don't really notice a lot of the chapter headers in my books. I feel like none of them are super cool, but I did read Slouching Towards Bethlehem by Joan Didion in November, and the book is split into 3 different sections. So we have these pages that have the title of the section, and then each essay has the title and then this little design at the top. This one was the most interesting one that I could find for the chapter headers question. The next category is best spine, and my first choice for that is All My Puny Sorrows by Miriam Taves. The drawing from the front continues onto the spine and onto the back as well. This was a great book too. It deals with family and mental health and stuff like that. I really enjoyed it. The next spine that I have is My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Otessa Moshfegh. I feel like this is just a really iconic book cover in general, but the bright pink with that bold font on the spine, it just draws your eye in. This is one of the books that got me back into reading. I have the painting from the cover on my wall in my apartment. But yeah, I just really love that pink on the spine with the bold text. The last spine that I have is from The Appointment by Katharina Volkmer. This has like an iridescent rainbow effect. Kind of goes from red to yellow, like green to blue. It's kind of shiny, and it matches with these like shiny accents on the cover and on the back. Yeah, I didn't love this book, but the design is one of the reasons why I haven't gotten rid of it yet. The next question is best drawings, and this was another one that I really struggled with. I couldn't find any drawings in any of the books that I have on my shelves right now. Like I said, for the map question, maybe in some of my like childhood books that are at my parents' house, I might be able to find an answer for this, but I decided to go with best pictures instead, just as kind of a substitution for it. And for that, I went with Just Kids by Patti Smith. This book has a bunch of photos of Patty and Robert Mapplethorpe, and I feel like all of Patti Smith's books, at least the ones that I have, they all kind of have her photos in here, which I think is super cool. Helps you put some names to faces, and I think that these pictures in this specifically are just really indicative of the times that she's talking about and the relationship that she's talking about in this book. Finally, I kind of created my own category of just, I don't want to say honorable mentions, but just some other covers that I felt like didn't really fit into any of the categories in the tag, but that I love and want to showcase here. So first is this vintage edition of My Year of Rest. Oh my god, why can I not say that? My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Tessa Moshfegh. The front of this is by a photographer named Anya Niemi, and after seeing this, I ended up looking up more of her work, and I absolutely love it. She does a lot of self-portraits that are super similar to this. I actually have one from her series called In Character hanging above my couch of a woman like laying on a couch, and yeah, I just think that she's super talented, and I'm super glad that I have this copy of the book to thank for discovering her work. Another cover that I really love is Pond by Claire Louise Bennett. This is a great book just in general, but I think the like oil painting on here and just the colors are so stunning with that bold white font across it. I think that contrast is just super beautiful. I also really love the colors. There goes the stack. We are so close to the end. But I also really love the colors in Emergency by Daisy Hildyard. I really just love the colors that they used for this kind of scribbly, squiggly landscape. Finally, I just wanted to mention the New Directions paperback versions of some of Clarice Lispector's novels. I don't have all four, but as you can see, if you... How are we gonna do this? Ooh. So I'm missing a breath of life to finish out this corner here, but as you can see, if you put these together, they create a picture of Clarice's face, which I just absolutely love. I think that this one is my favorite, just like standalone from this set, but the backs of the books also create a different picture of her face, which I'll try and do here. Yes. So I'm keeping an eye out for A Breath of Life to complete this set, but I don't know, I just absolutely love the color scheme that they used for these and just the way that they kind of split up those pictures across all the covers. I think just makes it so satisfying to have the whole set of them. All right, that is so many books, but they're all pretty, so it's okay. Let me know if any of these covers that I talked about today are your favorite as well. I would love to hear your opinions on them, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.